That's recording. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وأفضل الصلاة والتسليم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Sameh Otri. I work in Cardiff and Vale College as a lecturer. I am a father of 4 children. The youngest one is 7 years old and the oldest is 17. And I have, alhamdulillah, Dr. Hasan with us, inshallah. So he's going to introduce himself as well.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. By training, I'm a child and adolescent psychiatrist, and I am retired now and a father of 3 daughters. MashaAllah, I am fortunate in having grandchildren. And with Sameh, our plan is that we explore over the next few sessions living under the present circumstances. We do realize that we are already into the 5th or 6th week of lockdown. So it is possible that a lot of us have made adjustments. It would be interesting to explore the impact of these circumstances on our ways of life. Is there guidance from Sunnah and guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about such circumstances and how we can all be successful in spite of the present circumstances?
Yeah, of course, we have a rich ahadith and ayat from the Quran about being patient in this hard time. One of them, Rasulullah said, whoever looked down and he's patient, and whether he has been affected by this illness or not, but being patient itself and stay at home away from the infection, that he will get the reward of shaheed. That's a famous hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Brother Sameh, that gives us a lot of reassurance, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It's great that we are rewarded with whatever we face. Even if small things affect our life, God is so generous; He will reward us for that trouble we are facing.
So you mean to say that simply if I'm patient and I accept the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we are in the present circumstances and I follow the rules, then that means that even if I don't die during these times, even if I live many years, even then I'll be shaheed?
Exactly, yeah. So it's a great opportunity, to be honest, to go through this hard time. I hope it will not happen again, and I'm sure it hasn't happened before for those who are living nowadays. So it's a great chance, being a martyr, shaheed. It's not it's a high status, subhanallah, in Islam. So you have the prophethood, al-anbiya, then as-siddiqeen, then as-shuhada. So it's the 3rd stage, mashallah, in Jannah. So
Subhanallah, Subhanallah.
Alhamdulillah.
So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is granting us such huge reward, then it must mean that being patient and being tolerant and being helpful is not so easy then.
Exactly. Yeah, it's sure that it's not an easy thing. And we see it, subhanAllah, for the last few weeks now. It wasn't easy for many of us.
Well, you are a father and you have got a family. So have you found it difficult to function under lockdown conditions?
I have, to be honest. The dynamic between, setting up your place, where to sit to do your work, and then what time you see your children to play with them. They will knock the door, saying, "Dad, it's time to play with us," and they are not able to go outside as well. So it is not wife as well, how to manage being supportive to your wife, to the older children. Yes. What
So,
about you, Dr.?
so you are saying that if I'm working at home, then under lockdown conditions, I need to do my work properly. So are you saying that I need to arrange things in such a way that I can get my work done properly?
Definitely, yes. So we have to assign a time. So I found that it's useful to have a place where it's designed to do your work. So like one corner in your house, in your room, it's known for everybody. That's your place to work. So instead of you taking your work to the other rooms with the children, and then you are not happy, they are not happy as well. To allocate a time and a place in the house where that's your place to do the work.
So I understand from that on the one hand, we are talking about if I'm working from home under these circumstances and in Ramadan, that we do our Fajr Salah and Adkar, and then you are saying that we sit down properly and do our work. And but at the same time, I think what I understand from you is that you are saying that we need to have some distinct space for the children to study, because they are at school at home, and we are at work, and my wife also needs time to perhaps tidy up the house and do the work herself.
Exactly, yeah. So I think it shouldn't be like a very heavy schedule, but there should be some kind of agreement and arrangement. Like we agree, for example, 10 o'clock in the morning, children should be sitting to do their schoolwork. So that's a routine. While they are doing their assignment and whatever work given to them, I can do my work as well. And the wife can do some job of,
Although with the young children, probably someone older needs to sit with them while they are studying, isn't it?
Yeah, I think maybe we are lucky in a way. We have older children, so they can help each other as well. So we have in the morning, me and my wife, we say that's our roughly timetable for like from 11 till 12. Abdullah will be sitting with the younger children. Then another half an hour break, then 1 hour to do other things with the other daughter, then my wife, then me. So at least each one of us will have 3 hours a day to be by their own without somebody else to look after.
I see. So to be clear, what we have talked about is you being able to do your work for the college. The children being able to do their studies and homework, and the younger children are supervised by the older children. But probably sometimes you and your wife also supervise the children.
Yes, we do, of course.
While they study.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I mean, we make it into a rota, 1 hour each. So we have certain activities which we wanted them to do it, like maybe going out for a walk. And
so that is after they have studied. You have got break times, and activity times, because at home you can't really expect the children to be working as if they were in school.
Definitely not.
It is different, and in school as well, they have got time to go outside and have break. So you give breaks and you have activity time.
Definitely, we have breaks, like every 1 hour there's half an hour break. And also the activities themselves are not only reading or studying. They can do decoration, gardening, go outside. And what I like it useful, children wants to have connection with their friends. So for example, my daughter will have a time to call her friend, spend half an hour playing on the iPad. They share the same game. And another time my son will read a book with his friend as well. So having, this kind of connection, otherwise they could be stressed and, not being cooperative with us.
Well, I guess Islam encourages us to mix with other people and to we have shared lives.
Yes.
And so you are saying that even in lockdown, although everybody understands that we need lockdown, and we know that Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam guided us to practice lockdown under certain circumstances. So even then, what you are saying that, subhanallah, we are fortunate in this day and age, we have got Zoom and WhatsApp, and so we can connect with friends.
Yes, yeah, definitely. I mean, we try to use all kind of connections, whether it was really nice for Omar to receive a letter from his friend, from school saying, "Hello, Omar, how are you?" Posted to him by post, non-Muslim friend, but he's a friend. So he was so happy to see the letter, came to him. So I think we have to be more innovative and come with different ideas. Maybe one thing we do, decorate the house. So because of Ramadan, so we have the candle for Ramadan, saying Ramadan Mubarak, doing different posters about Islam, whether it's some encouragement where you say, I am fasting.
You are talking about craft work.
Yes.
Drawing things and coloring and
drawing, yes,
making posters or doing other kind of craft work, I guess. So because we are locked down, in our free time, you are saying that we need a lot of activities besides Salah and reading Quran at different times.
Definitely. I think Rasulullah advice was روح القلوب, change it hour by hour. So you can't spend 24 hours reading Quran and praying, because the Sahaba were saying, when we are with you, we feel like we are close to Jannah, we are close to Allah. But when we go home, we are mixed with our children, we feel that we are not the same level of Iman. And he said, it's fine. If you are same like when you come to me at home, then you will be like with angels. But it's reality. We are not angels. So, روح القلوب, entertain your heart. So 1 hour for ibadah, the other for entertainment, for enjoyment, listening to nasheed, different activities, playing on the computers. So balance it out, to be honest.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So even in these circumstances, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam are allowing us to taste different aspects of life.
Definitely, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Doctor, what about what's your advice? I think if someone, how to control, I'm saying this, but we find it hard sometimes. My daughter sometimes come to me, say, Dad, I want to have one-to-one session with you, because I'm stressed. I feel that I'm not the same person as I was in school. So what general advice we can give to the parents, to children?
One of the things is that as children are growing up from very young age to teenage and older, they do need some special time with the parents. In lockdown circumstances, that can be very difficult. We talked about different places for people to be able to work. And similarly, it is difficult particularly if some of us are living in apartments or flats, that there isn't a lot of space. So even in a flat or apartment, we might want to think about sometimes being able to do things one-to-one. For example, I might notice that one of the children is making a drawing. So I could sit next to them and I could just share some thoughts or share in what she was doing. If she's making picture, I could like the colors, or I could we could talk about the weather, or we could talk about Ramadan when we are locked down, that we can't go to the mosque, or we can't be with our friends. So even those kind of little moments can become very special.
So
for
you are talking,
example,
doctor, about quality of time. You are talking about, yes, it's a good quality of time.
Quality of time. So quality time means that the child will then get the feeling that for those few moments that I completely belong to the child. So you can take a different situation. Let us say that we ask Jannah to wash the dishes. Jannah is washing the dishes, and you or your wife just go next to her, stand next to her and say, let me dry the dishes. So you are drying the dishes, she is washing the dishes, and that creates the opportunity for you to have some private moments with each other.
Oh, mashallah. I like it.
And then you could take some other term. You could say, right, you notice that Abdullah is kicking the ball outside. You go and join him. And that again gives you quality time. And children need to feel that my mom or dad belong to me. And we can create that moment sometimes.
So it's not only being with them, but being engaged with them as well, yeah? So sometimes we look at it as supervision. It's not only supervision, it's only doing it, and, you know, not only watching TV and you are there, but watch the same program maybe, or play football with them. Excellent, yeah.
Well, if you, sharing is the important thing. So even if, for example, we are sitting together watching the same program, then it gives us the opportunity to make comments which are tarbiyah. So we might see, let us say, someone not behaving very well, and we might say that how important it is in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's eyes that our ikhlaq are good to each other, that we are kind to each other, we are helpful to each other, we give up something. Like they say, you know, I will give up my last Rolo to you. I don't know if you have seen that advert.
No.
Rolo is a bar of chocolates.
Okay.
With little pieces of chocolate in it.
Yeah.
And so in the advert, it says, I will give you my last Rolo.
Oh, yes. I like it.
Being generous and being helpful, being kind. So watching a news together gives you an opportunity to talk. Watching some program together gives you an opportunity to talk to each other.
Definitely, yeah. So we spoke about time, to spend useful time. I think our wives used to be having more time by their own. Now, husband at home, children at home. I think we need to help our sisters, our mothers, our daughters. So how do we do it?
Well, you are right. And I was only the other day looking at Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam with his wives, our mothers.
Yes.
And subhanallah, the lesson we learned from his Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's life is that he helped around the house. And so when I speak with young men and I'm talking to them about getting married, one of the things I talk about is that we have to share the chores of the house. I need to hoover. I need to clean the bathroom. I need to put the rubbish out. I need to wash the dishes sometimes. Yes. So because our wives share our lives, so sharing our lives mean that we share all these jobs as well.
Exactly. Yeah. I think we have to show this to our children as well. So if we are doing it, so indirect way, they are learning from us. You know, it's mommy has a great responsibility. We should share this responsibility with her, and so we show love. You know, if they feel that we all one family, we are doing things together for the success of each one of us, I think it will work more properly.
I think you are right. And again, if we go and look at Rasulullah Sallam's teachings, he taught a lot by example.
Yes.
And
yes.
so you are right that if I behave well with my wife, then my children will learn to behave well with their spouses, with their husbands or wives, which is, and then they will also learn that they have to be kind and generous and good with their children as well.
Definitely,
After all, when we are bringing up children, then we are bringing children up to be useful adults, and adults who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and who want to follow Rasulullah
sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Alhamdulillah. So we have, alhamdulillah, this general understanding that we have to work together as a group, as a community, as individuals, as a family, inshallah. I mean, respect is really important, to respect each other. Maybe, as you said, Doctor, having time for each one of us by their own as well, so it doesn't.
Very important that if you sometimes notice that someone is by themselves, it's okay to leave them by themselves. So our wives might need a little break from everybody else, because really, if you think about it, before lockdown, I went off to work, my wife went off to work, the children went off to school, they mix with other people, we mix with other people, so we had, in a way, a kind of break from each other as well. Definitely. And then we come back and then we spend time together, and then of course, after having been busy all day, and then being together and having meal together and looking after each other, we need a small break. So if your wife wants to spend some time, even if with the mobile phone, or she wants to watch something on her own, or she read something, or do some knitting, or let us all have. So we might need to think about how can we sometimes create an opportunity for people to be able to spend a little bit of time on their own, even if we are in a flat or apartment.
I think taking the children away from home sometimes, even, we are allowed to go once for a walk and talk, and so I think we should utilize it every day. One thing we can do, like if we have our mobile phone, so we say to the children, let's take photo of the alphabet. So take a photo of something start with A, for example, then something start with B, so they can enjoy walking outside and taking photo of things. So if they see a butterfly, that's B, so a picture of a butterfly, a tree so of letter T, and so on. So different.
That's a good activity.
That's
a good activity. You are right that going out as a family in that hour that you can leave the house, as long as you don't go near other people,
definitely, yes,
that's fine. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Maybe, Doctor, learning new skills while at home. Children always open to ideas. Maybe gardening.
Shall we explore these ideas in other sessions?
Yes, inshallah.
And you wanted to talk about my wife's gardening.
Yes, next time, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Dr. Khalida. Jazakallah khair, Dr. Hasan, and thank you, everybody. May Allah accept our patience at this time, accept our salah, our ibadah, inshallah, and inshallah make dua for the whole humanity to be safe and well. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.